Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be women want respect, affection, and romance. Well, I've actually got an email here today. This is from a woman. She and her husband have been together for about 14 years, I guess it is. And they are Orthodox Jewish faith. So one of the things that's kind of interesting is they apparently only, at least this particular guy, they only have sex late at night. And so her complaint about her husband is that he doesn't really take any time to be flirty, incorporate any kind of foreplay. It's just basically when he's ready to have sex, he's like, let's get to it. So she writes in asking me, she goes through some specific examples, and there's probably some facepalm moments in here as I read some of this stuff. You can be like, dude. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we'll go through the email because she brings up a lot of good points because I do quite a few phone sessions with people, with guys that are married or they're in long-term relationships. And the reality is whether you're together 2 months or 20 years, the seduction process in creating attraction is the same thing. The only difference is you're in a commitment or a longer term commitment, and you've obviously, if you've gotten married, you probably involved the government in your relationship. So the quote says, women need respect, affection, and romance in a relationship to remain attracted and interested in their men. This means that the courtship never ends just because you are married, living together, or in a committed relationship. Guys who fail in long-term relationships do so because they either don't know how to communicate and open up their women, or they stop dating and courting them properly and eventually become platonic roommates. If you don't date and court your woman properly, eventually some other guy will. Oh, before I get started, got a new sweet shirt here. So there's several different colors at teespring.com under, because I know I got a lot of compliments on this shirt with the logo in the center here. You guys seem to like it. So I've got this one's like, I don't know, a turquoise. There's a bunch of different colors. So if you're so inclined, go to Teespring, or if you're on YouTube, just hit the Show More tab and then click the link that'll take you to Teespring. And you can also get these cool mugs. Come on, man. Because there's going to be a few, I think there'll be a few come on mans in this video. Because I'm assuming she'll probably share this video with her husband and he'll get the message, hopefully. So she says, hi, Mr. Wayne. I just watched your YouTube clip, the one about the art of banter, and I'm intrigued. I'm considering a paid coaching session, but am unsure if you can help, as my circumstances are wildly different to those you usually work with. I'd say you're probably wrong about that, but that's okay. Don't be so judgmental, woman. I'm just fucking with you. So I figured you're probably honest enough to tell me straight out whether or not you think you can really help once I've given you a brief overview of the issues involved. Before I explain, I've included some basic info and bullet points. Number 1, I am an Orthodox Jewish woman married to a lovely guy for the past 14 years. I'm the only woman my husband ever touched, dated, or even chatted to besides his mom, sisters, etc. He says, yeah, I can practically see the eye roll, and yes, you're right, it's not a good thing. Well, it just means he's inexperienced and didn't have to participate in the normal dating world like the rest of us in the West do, especially if you had an arranged type marriage, or which I'm assuming something like that might have been involved in your particular situation. Because obviously if he has to compete in the regular sexual marketplace, if you will, with regular guys in the West that know more than him, that know what I teach in my first book, How to Be a 3% Man, which you can read for free at understandrelationships.com, by the way, then yeah, he's going to be behind the 8 ball and he's not going to do very well. She says, also, we get on very well together and have pretty good communication. We have 3 boys, aged 13, 11, and 7. Bob, my husband, is a loyal, kind person with a great sense of humor who likes to make me happy. Well, it's good that he's got a good sense of humor because that is essential. Because love is playful and fun. And you want to laugh, you want to joke around, you want to kind of do silly, fun, playful things together, because there's a lot of shit going on in life that you can get upset about. And if you've got somebody that you're in relationship with, people that are in your inner circle that are fun, that are playful, easygoing, easy to get along with, it makes the journey of life a hell of a lot more fun. He helps with the kids. He gives me compliments on my cooking. However, he's a real idiot when it comes to sex. Damn, harsh woman. It's not that he doesn't know how to touch me. Over the years, I've taught him how to use his hands, his mouth, etc. in ways that please. Well, it's good that you were patient enough to teach him what you like. And he was open enough to actually listen and take good constructive feedback. So just based on that, I would say if he listens to the things I suggest, then he should be fine. In that sense, he's pretty okay. However, Bob is pretty adamant about only having sex at night, and night doesn't start before 11:30 p.m. I'm assuming that that's a religious thing, because like you never have sex during the day, never on the weekends. It's like, man, it's like very robotic. Only going to happen after 11:30 p.m.? What are you guys, fucking vampires? On rare occasions, he makes it an early night at 11. Ooh. Likes to get his freak on 11:30 at night, which means I'm pretty tired when it's time for action. This makes for some seriously low libido unless I've been the recipient of some smart foreplay and teasing earlier in the day. And it's precisely this which Bob sucks at. But I'm not sure you can help him, because the guys you advise on YouTube aren't anywhere close to this sort of level of my dear hubby's at. If they're like beginners, he's like preschool. Or he took the short bus to school, I assume. Obviously, he can learn. If he learned how to get you off in the bedroom, you can teach him if you're patient and you're not being pissed off and calling him names, because if you're berating him in order to get him to do what you want, what you're doing is you're causing him to not feel successful. And one thing that us guys are driven to do is we're driven to feel successful. And if you're constantly bitching and complaining and giving negative feedback instead of constructive criticism and help and assistance, eventually he's just going to tune you out and give up, because you feel like, hey, nothing I do makes her happy. She's always pissed off. She's always bitching at me. Here are some of the things he says to me when he wants to have sex. Boy, these would turn any woman on. Here's one. Here's the first one. Okay, I'm dead tired. Quickly come here and let's make it. Come on, man. I'm expecting you're going to have him watch this video, because he definitely needs to watch it. Listen, are you coming to have sex or not? It's late and I have work tomorrow. Time's a ticking, woman. Let's go. The Viagra is going to wear off. Come into my bed and sit on top of me. Woo, boy, that's a big turn on. Woo, what a line. I think I might have to steal that one. It's not fair. We never do it anymore. Do you want to do it now? Now that sounds like something a little child would say that doesn't know any better. Boy, I think I'm going to steal all 4 of those and try them out. I think that'll work great with the ladies. So obviously, both of you should definitely read this book, because there's nothing, it's almost like he's treating you like a hooker. Hey, it's time for sex, woman. Get your ass in here and get naked. Bend over, and so I can have my way with you. Just bend over the bathroom counter and I'll finish up really quickly. Sounds exciting, sounds compelling. So as I talk about in my book, part of romance is going out on a date, talking to each other, especially you, getting him. It sounds like he does a fairly good job of talking to you and opening you up. But if your religious reasons are you can only have sex late at night, that makes it kind of hard, where it's like, where's the spontaneity of it? You know, let me give you some examples. the way I've always interacted with my girlfriends is that everything is playful and building tension throughout the day. Like, give an example, like sometimes when we've been in public, like even girlfriends I've had that have had kids, and say we're all at a bowling alley or something, everybody's busy, we'll walk by each other, side by side as we're going by like this, and I'll reach my hand out just kind of very casually where nobody can see and just gently graze my fingers over her pussy. And she'll do the same thing with her hand and gently rub it over my balls and my cock. These are little things you can do in the kitchen throughout the day that you don't have to say anything. It's just as you walk by, you just playfully touch each other sexually in a way, obviously, that the kids don't see. But these are the kinds of fun foreplay. If you're only going to have sex at night, you can be doing these kinds of things during the day. He can be saying things to you like, babe, is it cold in here? It's like, what's with the high beams? Simple things like that. You're just kind of teasing and being playful. Or like I always like to do, and I've shared this a bunch of times, but I'm like a little boy. I'm kind of playful and I'm mischievous. And I'll go over and I'll start playing with their nipples and they get all hard. And it's like, oh, are you cold? Maybe you need to put a sweater on because you got the high beams on. It's just like, you did that. It was like, no, I didn't. It wasn't me. Just silly stuff like that. Goofy, being playful. If you're wearing yoga pants, it's like, babe, you got some sweet ass camel toe going right now. And later on, I'm going to tear you up. And then you just go back to reading your book, whatever you're doing. Because it's like planting seeds. And it's being fun throughout the day. It's building that anticipation so you can look forward to it. But there's got to be more touching, more caressing, more playfulness, more sexual innuendo in a fun, playful way. Here's when he says it. As we are both in bed after a long, tiring day, say he says any of the above on a Monday night, what will he have been like the entire Monday during the day? What will he have done to flirt, to put me in the mood? Well, I can understand where you're coming from, but it's also, what have you done to turn him on? Have you just gone up to him in the kitchen and wrapped your arms around with him and stroked his cock a little bit when he's doing something? Or maybe he's grilling out and nobody's watching. You go over and you rub his dick a little bit, and then you just kind of walk away. Those are the kinds of things you want to do, and you would encourage him. I would like it if you would come up and just randomly rub me when I'm not expecting it. And then walk away after that. It revs the engine up. So by the time night rolls around, you guys have been kind of revving each other's engines up, and then you fucking go for it. She says the answer is nothing. He will still burp or fart loudly in front of me. That's pretty sexy. Ask me for help with his company emails. Just act like nothing's up. No innuendos. Cute text, flirty phone, sizzling eye contact calls, etc. Okay, so you're complaining. And you're being kind of a nag here. And guys don't want to nag. So if you want him to do these kinds of things, you got to say, babe, I want some more sexual innuendo throughout the day. It'd be nice if you just came over and randomly rubbed my nipples and my tits, rub my pussy a little bit, and then just walk away as soon as I'm starting to get slightly aroused. And then just go about your business. Say, you got to wait till later tonight. Sizzling eye contact. Show him how you want to make eye contact with you. Because if you're just complaining about it, it's going to make him feel like, fuck, no matter what I do, all she does is bitch. All she does is complain. You got to give constructive, positive feedback. You're trying to help him help you. Because complaining and being a nag and a bitch, that's not the right way to go about it. Just going to make him shut down to you. Oh, and here's this other relevant fact about Bob. He'll only touch me at night in the bedroom when we are about to have sex. Well, obviously, that should change. Again, if it's a religious thing, me personally, I'm a spiritual person, not religious, so I love the fact that sex can happen anytime during the day or the morning or the afternoon or whenever. But if it's only at night because your religious reasons, it's like, okay, if that's working for you, fine. And if it's not, then, well, maybe you should take that up with your rabbi or something. I don't know. I just don't have to worry about those things, which is nice. During the day, there are no hugs, kisses, pinches, cheek stroking. Yeah, he could come up and randomly spank you on the ass. Randomly pinch you in the butt. Or say, God, you look so hot in those pants. Oh, I'm going to tear you up later. You're going to get it later. You're going to get it later when the boys are asleep. Pressing his arm to mine when he passes me in the kitchen. So again, you got to positive, constructive feedback. You got to ask him in a loving, sweet way to do these things. As we have pretty good communication, we have discussed this lots of times, and Bob agrees that he has no idea how to do these things or verbal teasing, which are also important to me. Well, okay, so he has no idea. Well, you got to teach him. You got to coach him. You taught him how to get you off in bed, and you got to teach him these things. Instead of just saying, well, he has no clue, and that's it. That's just saying I'm not going to make the effort to try. However, I can't seem to teach him how to do it. He doesn't seem to get it. For example, and you giving up is not going to be helpful. That's bullshit. You're giving up on your marriage. You're giving up on sex and intimacy and having fun. Well, I just can't do it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't love me. For example, when I told him to touch me in a casual, flirty way during the day and demonstrated, he came up to me the next day, put on these weird googly eyes and stroked my arm, after which he said, you see, I did it. Now did that turn you on? It's like, instead of getting pissed off that, you should have said, it's a good first effort, and I appreciate the fact that you did it, so I want you to back up, and I want you to try that again. But instead of going, Mommy, did I get it right? Did I get it right? Did I get it right? Don't be a douchebag about it. It's like, you were doing fine until you're like, did I get an attaboy? Did I get an attaboy? Can I have a treat now? It's like, because that's cheesy. So make him repeat it 3 or 4 times until he gets it right and looks you in the eyes and says something that you like that turns you on. Show him how to do it. Practice it. I mean, think about it. That's what actors do. And the normal guys that read my book, 3% Man, and also that read my second book, Mastering Yourself, they practice these things. Repetition is the mother of skill. It sounds like you taught him once and it pissed you off because you didn't like how he handled it and you never tried it again. Well, that's a half-ass effort, sister, and you got to do better. And you can't bitch about it. So it sounds like you just gave up. And it's like, if you're not getting satisfied, well, it's your fault because you gave up. From these lines, he sounds like a total idiot, but I assure you he is highly intelligent in other ways. Well, maybe you're just kind of a crummy teacher, and you need to do better. You need to do betterer. The question is, can you help him? It's only if he's willing to help himself. He says he wants to go on a course or learn flirting from a professional. Can you be that professional, or do you only work with people who are trying to chat up new partners? Well, I don't know where you got off thinking that I only work with dudes that are just dating new people, because that's just simply not accurate. But what I would suggest before you guys book a phone session is that you both read my book, 3% Man, and that you take the corrective action. Practice these things. He's got to practice, and you got to be a better coach. You got to be more patient with him. Just teach him. And again, if he reads the book, if he's willing to read the book, great. If you both read the book and you still feel like you want my help, then yeah, I would highly encourage you to book a phone session, and then I can talk to both of you so we can interact. But like I said, if you just do these things that I gave you some good constructive criticism and feedback on, and you practice it, you guys should be fine. But it sounds like you got kind of butthurt and just gave up at the end and really haven't tried since. Well, that's a piss poor, shitty effort. And so if you're upset that he's not doing the foreplay properly, it's like, well, the person you see in the mirror every day, that's the person you got to blame. You got to be a better teacher. That's all. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.